Welcome to the Finding Me Roundtable discussion. My name is Jaden, and I am here with the talented cast of Finding Me. After an emotional and entertaining Season 2, the cast from the groundbreaking series come together for a one-time, raw and hard-hitting discussion. Eugene E. Turner, who plays Greg. RayMartell Moore, who plays Fabian. Miste Roule Ryals, who plays Tammy. And Bry'Nt, who plays Omar. Welcome to the series premiere of The Interview. Okay, guys. First things first. I have to know this. What was the strangest thing that you've been asked to do while filming Finding Me?
Eat Misty's box.
Ew! Who asked you to do that?
You don't remember?
No.
What was under the covers?
To simulate. Oh, that. Ew, right. Ditto.
I'm like, is my face supposed to be in it?
Right?
It's the movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the movie. Yeah, the movie.
Wow.
Oh my
So
god.
we got.
I forgot about that.
Misty's like, yo. I'm like, okay, how long are you
Fake.
supposed to do this for? Totally fake. She had her drawers on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You rose your hand up real quick.
I was gonna say, kiss a girl, like in the mouth and stuff.
How
Like with
many
your
girls have you
tongue?
kissed on the show?
2 in my life.
So your first kiss was on Finding Me.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Very interesting. Luckily, I had a good counterpart, and she helped me through the scene. But yeah, it was weird to kiss a girl for the first time, but I'm glad it was documented and shared.
So does that mean that we will not be revisiting any more kissing scenes with females?
Actually, I do feel comfortable now kissing females.
Okay.
On camera or off.
Oh.
So who knows what could happen?
Cool. Right?
You know, the funny thing is I've been trying to think about what is the strangest, and I can't think of anything.
Are you serious?
The scene in The Standard is not the strangest.
The
to you?
sex scene in the shower was
Right,
the
you
strangest.
guys-
All that
Strange to
jiggling,
me.
that butt pressed against the glass. That wasn't strange for you.
Okay, a little bit. Okay, I mean, I guess in that sense, but it's more of like when I think strange, I think more of a emotion,
Something
like
that's unbelievable.
uncomfortable,
Right.
or like something that you have to push yourself to do. And when it comes to those,
It's more like you're playing a character, so you're like, that's what you have to do.
and make it one take and at least less than
Right.
two.
You don't think it's strange playing so nice? Because are you really that
No.
nice?
And he is.
I'll
though.
answer no.
Yeah.
No, he
You
isn't.
really are.
He
That's
is
nice.
not. Fabian.
That's why,
Nice.
like,
He's
you know,
nice, but
it's
he's-
hard for me to relate to you.
Misty, really.
Because I think you're really way too nice.
He is
Right.
not. I've been
Are you
out with
kidding?
him. He's an Aries.
I'm an Aries.
And he's
I am
a
an
true
Aries.
Aries. I've seen
My face dropped. See, I do not get Aries from you.
Oh, because you haven't been out
Because
with
a
him.
lot of those Aries, aside from my mom, are very phony nice. You know, it's almost
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, Aries,
Yes.
but but I don't get phony
Been
nice
out
from
with
him.
I've been out in Texas with him.
Yes, he has.
With a table full of women. He's had 4 women, all like this. So, what's going on, Ray?
That doesn't
Player.
mean he's not nice.
Well, he's definitely
He's
not
a
an
nice
angel.
player.
He's not an angel.
I'm not an angel, but I am. I know how to, because I am a military brat and I travel every 3 years. I know how to
Move around.
and
In a room full of
chameleonize myself in the environment.
Simulate to the
To simulate.
They need to put that in the header. Chameleon eyes.
Chameleonize.
It's like dancery.
Is that a word? That's
It's
a
like
word.
It's like
dancery.
dancery.
It's like
and
dancery.
bootylicious.
Yes.
That should be in the
Chameleonize myself.
I just know
Yes,
how to make
Lord.
myself fit in.
Right.
You know, and allow people to see me the way that I want them to see me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I
Isn't
know
that
how
kind
to
of
control
like
that.
deception?
Aries.
It is a little deceptive.
Right.
If you
He
want.
deceived Misty. She thought he was nice.
Yeah, Aries deceive a lot of people. Subliminal. And they have, except my mother.
Except your mother.
Misty, how long have you been acting?
Oh gosh. My acting credits go back to
Since the day of
no, like around like 95, something like that. I kind of started doing background.
Okay.
So I was with a casting agency, and I was doing like some Law and Order stuff, and mostly modeling though back then. But
Was that
yeah,
was acting your passion then, or was it the modeling?
modeling was my passion then.
Okay.
The acting kind of came later.
Now, Roger told me you used to work with June Ambrose.
I worked with June Ambrose, yes. I was her intern. I was like 32, and I was doing a change of career. So I was working at Verizon, and I left there because I wanted to follow my passion of fashion styling, at least my passion for that year. So I left, and my friend hooked up this change because I was like, I have no experience doing this. How am I ever going to get a job or anything? So she did a change of career resume for me, and I first started with Eugene Kim, who does the high-end hats and accessories, and then from there, her assistant was like, you need to work for the Mod Squad, you'd be perfect for this. So she hooked me up with that interview with June Ambrose, and then I started interning for her.
And then when did the acting come in?
The acting came in, I actually got a call from one of my designer friends, Marco Hall, and he was having dinner with Roger, and he was like, you know, they're looking for a fashion stylist for their movie, because this is when it was the movie first, Finding Me, yeah. So, you know, I was trying to do my freelance styling, so I was like, yeah, sure, like, of course I want to do that. And it had a girl, you know, so, you know, I was like, that was like my dream job to kind of like style a woman. So I was like, oh yeah. So I met them, and then Roger put me in a small part in the first film. So then when the second film came, I was like, I want to do more. I want to like, you know, so he wrote me into the second film and asked me if I still wanted to style and do the acting, or if I wanted to, you know, choose one. So I chose to do the acting.
Which do you like more?
The acting, yeah. I was over the fashion styling very early on, but but so yeah, the acting is way more fun.
Okay.
Yeah, way more fun for me.
Girl, you know this is bananas, right?
You know what's bananas? My cousin seeing someone and not even telling me.
Amira, get a grip.
There's nothing going on behind your back. Well, I'm listening in on conversations talking about grasshoppers and crickets.
Because I'm just kicking it with this dude.
That's all. Do I have to remind you about the last time you were just kicking it?
Look, Amira, I am not a baby. I am a grown-ass woman who can handle hers.
Now, you need to be more concerned with handling yours, because you haven't been. Now, have you?
But when did you start acting?
Okay. Again, like Misty, as soon as I came out of the womb, I was like, "Ta-da!" No, I went to Performing Arts High School in '98.
And wait, what was the year? I didn't quite catch that.
Century sometime.
98. And, or 88. 88, I have to say. So it was even longer than what I just said. I went to Performing Arts High School. I was a drama major there, vocal minor. I went to Freedom Theater in Philadelphia, and I was in the ITP program, so I was a triple threat, acting, singing, and dancing. But I
Can
do
you
a
sing
lot
for
of
us
things.
later?
My agent won't let me.
Oh, good one.
But then I kind of gave up. I wanted to go to be in fashion. So I came to New York to be in fashion, went to FIT for illustration, and then I met Roger. And Roger kind of reignited that flame.
The acting flame. I'm kind of glad
I
I
realized that's what I wanted to do. That's what I was supposed to do. And kind of pursuing that since my late 20s, early 30s.
So you're just like the all-around guy.
Yeah.
The renaissance of the arts.
I can give you my resume.
Do you draw too?
I went to FIT for
Yeah, he
illustration.
actually
Wow.
does. Let me answering
And
your
you're
question.
single,
Yes, he
Eugene?
does.
You know me. That's great. And what about you? I know you were rap. That's your passion, your music.
I mean, I was always involved in performing arts. Since a little boy, I first played Langston Hughes' father in a play when I was in 3rd grade. And ever since then, I used to do like theatrical stuff, just be in plays and dance and stuff, and played instruments, and I was in the chorus. So I was just always
What instruments do you play?
trumpet.
Wow.
So that's how the acting.
So we can have a band going here.
Right?
Misty's gonna do the costumes. I see it. I just gotta figure out what you're gonna do. What you gonna do?
If it was involving music, I'd probably be a producer.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. So we got the whole thing here.
I can see that, Lucius.
So we need to talk to Roger.
Eclectic sound mix.
Oh, so we got to talk to Roger about a soundtrack, like us doing our own soundtrack.
Right.
We've got this, like the.
I could do one of them whisper sings.
You could be in Dia Davenport.
No name drops. No, I'm joking.
Cool.
And Ray, so how did you get started?
I at first middle school, I was more focused on track. I was like trying to be Magic. Was it Johnson? Yeah, Magic Johnson Gold Feet or Gold Shoes. So I was running track, and I ended up having like a small injury that kind of just had me like go off for a second. And in that process, I started doing drama because they said you had to take an art program. I did a little bit of drawing. I didn't want to get back into that. So I took drama and then kind of just fell in love with it. In Tampa, Florida, they have these things called thespian, big thespian convention competition type things. And they were huge, anywhere between 3,000-6,000 kids just all together and competing, doing monologue scenes and things like that. I didn't do as well as I hoped my junior year, so knowing that my senior year was my last, I was like, I gotta knock this out. So I did that. I ended up getting a scholarship and basically moving out here, doing a 2-year conservatory, acting conservatory, New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts. And then right as soon as like literally 6 weeks before I graduated, that's when I auditioned for Finding Me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So this has been such like this speaks a lot to your growth as an artist and as an actor because Finding Me has been your journey as well as Fabian's journey. Wow, I didn't know that she was
the beginning.
Wow, interesting.
And I remember seeing that too,
that.
right?
I remember when he came in,
When
we
I
had all
came in, I was
that.
like, well, by the time I came in, I was just like, your life is kind of mirroring what was actually going on. Not the gay struggle, but like, just like
Yeah,
working
yeah,
and trying to
yeah,
find,
yeah.
So I was like, wow, like that's really, you're
very
really finding
parallel.
yourself. Yeah.
But I feel like I found myself, I guess you could say.
You're a New Yorker now.
I'm a New Yorker now. I love acting and modeling and things like that. I do all of that. But I think I call myself a producer first. Everything else is now secondary to help make that money, to make what we make,
Yeah.
to create.
Right.
So I roll.
I like how actors do that. At the end, it's like, so.
And there's a conclusion. You have to have a conclusion.
Period.
One thing I noticed from watching this season was how heavy the material was. I mean, from murder to baby laws to all kinds of just drama. How do you guys feel about this season's storylines? I mean, because we've seen you guys have all kind of shifted. Your characters have shifted, and they've evolved into these stages in their lives where they've gone through some heartache and some heartbreak. How do you guys feel about those storylines?
Well, I'm lucky. Ain't nobody died in Greg's world yet. Well, my baby.
Well, his baby.
My baby, but I've only addressed it in one
And
episode.
see,
I've only addressed it in one episode.
Eugene is so far removed from the death of this baby as is Greg.
Because Greg has only addressed it in one episode, and it was kind of not even really addressing it. Because I remember asking Greg, like, okay, Misty's about to jump off the Empire State, or Tammy.
Yeah.
Why is Greg not reacting to this?
I thought the same thing.
And then we kind of went there once, but
Yeah.
Greg is still kind of light. I kind of felt like Greg was going somewhere when he decided he was not going to be a whore anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get the sadness yet. But someone told me, a little Haitian birdie told me that next season Greg is going to get it. So we'll see.
Well, Greg is so light that I don't know if you actually want to see Greg go through it. Definitely not the way that Omar goes through
I ain't
it.
trying to run in front of
Omar.
cars. This is what I want to ask before we ask that question.
Okay.
Not that you can answer this, might be more for Roger, but why in movies do they have people running away from cars? How can you run away from a car
Right.
or run after a car?
In real life, I was trying to figure that out.
Oh, I just
On
wanted
set,
to-
I was trying to figure that out.
Because the
I
car
guess when
can
it's
just
like your
No, the car
child
was
is in the
about
car.
to run me over.
because
Yeah,
you can't
it's-
outrun one. You are tall.
And the car was
People
going
may not
about maybe 10 miles an hour, and I was still like, like,
Behind the
Yeah.
scenes. Right.
yeah, so.
It's
That's a good
alright.
question.
It looks good though.
Back to the question.
But so how do you feel about your storyline?
It's always depressing with Omar. Like, it's just, I'm just on set all day, like, who died now? Like,
Who died now?
who's
Do
leaving
you
my
ever
life?
smile
Like,
on set?
I have one happy moment between me and Ray, where I see him on the street, and I'm like, oh, hey,
yeah, I remember that.
I know you. Like, but other than that, it's just like,
You have to stay
Do you
there.
think your character really likes? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
Do you think your character really likes your girlfriend, or are you just kind of like using her as like a distraction or rebound or filler
That's a good
for
question.
some type of comfort?
that is exactly what he's doing. He's using her for resources, I guess. I mean, she takes good care of him,
She
but
got
he's
place.
in love with a man.
Okay.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But she's a nice girl.
And money.
She's a nice girl.
I think Omar's just a guy who just got dealt a really bad card.
But has he been
Victim
able
of
to figure
circumstances.
himself out?
And
you know?
and because of certain circumstances, anytime he does try to go in the right direction, it then ends
He's
up
getting
backfiring.
threatened.
Right, because
And-
remember, Omar did have a job at one point. He was trying to get his life together. He was moving in with whoever at the time, trying to get rid of his demons from the past. But
You're working
just
at the
keep-
garage
yeah.
or whatever.
But it just keeps
I
on.
remember that.
Well, is it his karma coming back? Because I can see
It
him
could
moving
be
forward, but
karma.
you can't move forward until you let go of the things that have been holding you back.
It
you
could
know?
definitely be karma because in the movie, he did kill someone,
Yeah.
or supposedly, allegedly.
Thank you, Omar, and again, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry?
Baby, you know I'm sorry, and I'm gonna make it up to you.
You gonna make it up all right.
Yeah.
So it could be karma. It could just be, like he said, bad aim.
But who do you think Omar is? Like, if you just could, in your own mind, I know you play him, the way he's written, but we never, as an audience, I have no idea who Omar is besides this thug. Have you ever thought about that? I think that's what I'm asking.
It's a mystery to me. I mean, I think most of our characters are mysteries to us. That's why it's interesting to play them. But I mean, you don't really know who your character is. Like, you're finding out who they are
As you
as
go
they
As
find
you
in
read
themselves.
that script,
Like,
right.
I agree with
But see,
that.
I see something else though. When I see Omar, I think like the kids that misunderstood. It's somebody said it best. You always hear about the person who gets put in handcuffs or what they did bad, but
What's the why?
What's the why behind why they
Right.
got to that situation? And that's Omar. He hasn't been cuffed yet, but if something like that was to happen, you have all this like, this is why he got to this moment, to this point.
Yeah, there's definitely some backstory there some really heavy, deep backstory there that you don't really need to know because you see it as it plays out. Like there's something going on.
It's apparent in his everyday life. So.
Yeah, there's never a moment. I think he has a line where he says, "I can't get a break." It's like, damn right, you can't get a break. He was just so pitiful. Damn right. It's just, I told my, I said,
that's
like,
what makes it interesting.
It is. It really is. I showed my mom a couple of episodes, and she said, "What is wrong with that boy? He's so cute. Why is he so sad?" I was like, I don't know. It's just the character,
Now, I remember the first episode for the first season of the web series was him opening with Jake. And I was so impressed.
Wait, were you there?
With Bry'Nt. I wasn't there. Okay. So I was kind of like, damn, like this guy is an awesome actor because I know him, and I was like, he's totally not this guy at all. So it's like, at least for us, even though, with you playing a gay part, I know that's totally out of the realm for you, and you being, bisexual and having to deal with all this is kind of out of the realm for you. And then me having, been with women and then coming into having to be all with you. So we all kind of had these little, nuances in playing the character, but he was a total personality change. It wasn't just the physical part of it. It was like a total personality change. His voice deepened. His swagger was different. And I was just like, wow, like he is really, 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 really
Do you know
an
what
amazing
was like that for
actor.
me?
Oh my God, thank you.
I'm gonna give you some more accolades. When I was on set in front of Greg's apartment and we did that scene when Maurice was getting kicked out of the apartment, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, are you shitting me? like you said, his voice deepened. It was like this total thug. I was like, hold up. Like I had to stop. Like I'm in the street like, okay.
Right, and the nonchalant attitude about like it was just.
I think I told Roger, I was like, he is good. I need to amp up my scene.
But that's how I felt coming into it because I was one of the new people, so I felt like, these guys are really convincing, so I gotta be coming in like.
Because you sit in the car like. And you like, oh, what's up?
And the funny thing
and then it's like, Roger, you ready?
Roger! Really? That's how you work! Really? I'm not feeling this, Roger. Action. Yo, I'll kill you, dude!
And it was believable.
And it was believable. I was like, well, it was kids on the street like riding their bikes, and they were like,
they were watching. They was like,
he was like, what's he for real?
She had a nice little audience.
It was a huge audience.
You remember that? Everybody was watching.
Well, it worked in reverse for me. I met Omar first on set. Then I met Bry'Nt.
Wait,
damn!
You're a little
Good. Like, wow, that boy is playing a thug like I ain't never seen in my life. Like you give Lorenz Tate all them old school thugs up for their money. Like, seriously.
Thank you guys. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Too bad you're hearing it like 3 years later.
I know.
I picked him up immediately.
And Ray, what about you? Your character?
What was the question?
I know we went all the way back.
No, but just talking about your storyline and how do you feel about it or
great. Yeah, I mean I love Fabian's evolution. Like we just was saying before, a lot of Fabian's evolution, despite the gay part, is a lot of like myself and just the growing moments of finding yourself, of like really discovering and accepting who you are, and then going through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, I mean Fabian, he's going through it all. I mean, you could think of, like some people would say like he's a hoe.
Well, since you bring it up, he has the most sexual partners in the story.
I don't see Fabian as a hoe.
The last scene he was piping somebody. So. So
They say like because he's been in the most
He
relationships.
sure did.
Most relationships.
In the locker room, right?
It's not like
No,
you've
he
been
was
like
like
with
with
a
the girl.
whole bunch of people at
I gotta
once.
catch
just
up.
the same
Oh,
thing.
Bridget, right?
But it's like it's in such
Yeah.
short spans. Like
Yeah.
he's hooked.
But you're
'cause
young.
He was
That's
with.
the
He
thing,
was
too.
with.
that ain't no excuse.
Who was he with? Okay, so he was with Melania, of course. Like the great thing I love with working with everybody that I've worked with is that there has to be an extreme comfortability with each other.
Yeah.
And a trust.
Yes.
So let's serve it up. It's not about us. It's about the characters. At the end of the day.
I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
love
Ray is the benchmark.
He is.
And Roger will be like, hey, I need you to do a love scene. And I'm like, I'm not doing what Ray does.
Right. Because he wasn't.
Then, I have health issues that kind of erupted while I was filming. And I have Graves' disease.
Oh.
And so it affects my eyes. I have like this thyroid condition.
How much of Greg do you think you
I
are?
can't say that on film and I won't.
Huh?
But I'm nicer than Greg.
Wink, wink.
But I identify with the LGBT community because of this project.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So you can be empathetic, you understand,
Right.
some
But
of those
it's
struggles.
even more than empathy. It's like, no, I put my shoes and I walked at least
Kinda did.
in
Yeah.
the wall.